So here we are in our dinette. What's the purpose for a dinette in an RV?
Why do so many people choose to get rid of them?
Why can't we get rid of ours?
Yeah, let's go down that road. Hello, faithful people. I'm Orlean.
And I'm Gary. And this is Roads of Faith.
My arm isn't as long as Gary's, and I'm holding it, so there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, I'm sitting on Gary's lap on our dinette, and he's probably sunk down almost to the floor because there's absolutely no cushion in our cushions, and there hasn't been since we got it. So we looked at several different options that we would have loved to have been able to do, but we couldn't, and we'll tell you why. But first we want to tell you what is the purpose of the dinette and why do some people want them and why do a lot of people get rid of them. Did you bounce back up?
Oh, feels good to be
off the floor.
and moving. Yeah.
Okay, so this dinette is kind of different than the newer ones. With this one, you're supposed to pull up on the table, and then those two legs you take out because this is off, because the table is off. You take the legs and you lay them down on the floor underneath, and then you drop this down to these two lips here. There's one on this side and there's one on that side. And then the table goes all the way across. And then you take the seat cushion and that moves in to the center. The two of them come together in the middle on top of this. And then these back cushions lay down flat to fill in the remaining spot. And you have a bed that will fit, it's about 6 foot long. So an adult could easily, very comfortably sleep on it. The reason we can't get rid of it, like a lot of people do, and they put in a table and chairs to make it look more homey, to make it look like a real home, is because we have a few obstacles. We have a wheel well that starts here. That's why this is raised. And it goes underneath the lower part of this cabinet. And it goes all the way through to under here. To about, I think it came to about here. Right here is a drawer that holds my pots and pans. And that goes to about this far back. And then from here to there was just empty space. But we could not have a chair there because of the wheel well. You can't remove the wheel well.
No.
Underneath the other dinette is a pass-through storage. You can get at things from the inside or from the outside of the same, they share the same space. It's just one long continuous space. And we can't get rid of that because we don't have a lot of storage underneath our RV like a lot of people do when they have a fifth wheel.
Ours is too short and we just don't have the extra room.
Yeah.
So we have to make use of what we have.
And so we couldn't sacrifice that space either. So we are stuck with the dinette. So some people do the table and chairs. We can't. That's not an option. The other choice we had was to just replace the seat cushions. It would cost roughly about $50 per cushion from what we have researched and found. So about $100 we could have fixed it. Yeah. But we had a travel trailer for what, 11 years?
Yeah.
And in that 11 years time, we added up approximately how much time we actually were in it over that 11 years. Family vacations, just a few days here and there kind of thing. And we totaled up to maybe, 6 months of actual usage.
Mm-hmm.
By the time we sold it, our bench cushions were getting pretty beat. I mean, they were getting to the point where they were going to have to be replaced. So if that's all the longer they last, what's the point in putting $100 into something that's not going to last very long? So we were trying to think of different ways to make something, and I came up with an idea, but we didn't have the wood for it. Until that wonderful day that God gave us this free wood, and Gary built new benches. So by taking this and making this into something entirely different, still keeping the bench idea, but it will not be able to be used as a bed. But that's okay, because we have a bed, an extra bed. We have a couch. It's a jackknife sofa, and it folds out, and it would sleep one or two people. Two people might be cozy, but you know, a couple kids, yeah, no problem. So we have an extra bed. And in the time that we had that travel trailer, how often did we ever need to make the dinette into a bed? It was so seldom. Yeah. The kids would maybe have friends come.
And then they'd sleep in tents.
Yeah. Yeah, they wanted to sleep outside in tents most of the time. So it was just a couple of times that we used that in 11 years. Mm-hmm. So I don't think taking this out is going to be a big issue. Let's show you what we're doing instead. Well, Gary went out to get our new bench seats. I wanted to show you that this is what's underneath the cushions. And this allows you access in another way, which, as you can tell, isn't real easy because you're hitting the table. But there you can see the wheel well. And then it just has this little fake back on it. And then this is my drawer. So a lot of wasted space under here. That's maybe something we'll figure out for another time on how we can utilize that better. But for now, that is what it looks like when you don't have the cushions on. And this is the new seat that took place of that cushion. Now, there's a couple changes. One is that the cushion hung over on this part, and it hung over quite a bit on here, like out to about here. We didn't need that. The other thing is that the cushion went all the way up to the wall. And when we were in that really wet weather in the Pacific Northwest earlier, there was a lot of times we'd have to pull the cushions away from the wall because they would tend to get kind of a musty smell. So this, Gary made it purposely a little bit smaller for that reason. And then the back cushion stays, but I'm just going to cover them with a more neutral fabric. This is our next thing, is we're going to figure out how to get this covered or taken off and redone, because this is getting really frayed and faded and yucky. So then we thought, okay, for just having a little cushion, if we want one, we can just take a pillow off the couch if we want. This is the perfect height. It is. This is great. Before when you sat down on the cushion, even though we'd have a couple pillows on top of the cushion just to make you higher, you'd still sink way down in that thing. And I just always felt like a little kid at the big people's table, at the grown-ups table. So this is really nice. It's going to be much more comfortable. I think so. This is great. And it's not going to be digging into the back of my knees, because it's well far away from that. Gary rounded the corners off on it. This is wonderful. And it didn't cost anything except some screws. Yeah. And that cost what, $2 and something?
$5.
Well, but you still have like almost 50 left. Wasn't it 100 for?
Oh, yeah.
So about $2.50.
I'll use them all in the next project, I'm sure.
Okay, so for this project, about $2.50 plus the time to do it and the paint. The paint is for the valances too. So it didn't take a lot of paint to do this. No. So that's good. Awesome! We're going to sit so much more comfortably tonight. The really nice thing about this new bench is that it is removable. So if we have to get to things underneath for any reason from that door that I showed you, that trap door, we can do that. Gary just brought the second one in, and now you can see what the set looks like. So pretty. It doesn't match the cupboards exactly, of course, but it contrasts with them so nicely. Gary had to put the back on that so we could see what it looked like officially. But we will be covering these, so they'll be more neutral. For now, I'll just use the sheets that I've been using. But what I'd like to do is this summer, maybe my mother-in-law can help. If we could make something like some kind of almost like a fitted bed sheet and have elastic in the back, and maybe make a couple of them that we can just change out if we need to, or whatever. But otherwise, just tucking them in works too. The other thing that I'm really excited about is that for all this time, that cushion was hanging over so much that it was almost impossible to get into those drawers. I always had to be pushing the cushion away so I could pull the drawers out. And they're locking drawers. I mean, you have to kind of lift up on them and pull out. And then you let them drop down when you close. So they're not, the cushion was not supposed to be helping to keep those closed. That was not the point at all. So now we have to find a place to donate the seat cushions, because they won't work with this anymore because the seat's too high. And if we put the cushion on it, then the back won't rest where it's supposed to. So we can't use them anyway. And they
stink. Yeah, they're time to go.
They do not stink.
Well,
okay.
I mean, they just don't look good in here.
Okay.
So it's time to change.
Yes. So we're going to let them go, and we're going to donate them, and maybe somebody will have some use for them. You know, they might be really fun for maybe a school teacher will find them and think, hey, these would be great for my reading class with my little kids in the class or something, and they can sit on those. Or a Sunday school teacher maybe might want to do that. And instead of having pillows, they could have these cushions. I don't know. Well, there's got to be a use for them. So we'll donate those. And we decided that we're not going to wait until we get to Arizona to donate that door that Gary took off in the hallway. We're going to donate that as well before we leave, so we can get that out of here and be done with that. And you know, somebody might look at that and think, hey, this would be a great size to make a craft table. Or somebody might think, hey, this would work really well for a desk for one of my kids or something. I mean, you know, there's all kinds of things that you can, if you use your imagination, there's all kinds of things you can make from things you find at thrift stores. So that's where those things are going to go. And yeah, next project, balances. Oh, yay.
We'll go down that road. Yeah.
Another day. Okay, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. It doesn't cost anything. Just click on that red button down below that says subscribe. And then next to that is a bell. Click on the bell. Then you'll be notified every time a new video comes out. And comments. We love comments. So if you want to leave a comment below, you can do that.
So thanks for tuning in. God's blessings to all of you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.